We're live. Okay. Let's get that up there. Okay. Close that. Share the screen, the entire screen. Okay. That's the one I want. All right. So I was able to pre-generate a resume. Now some of this stuff is like, well, you probably don't need. I've created toggles within the resume here, or within the database itself. Now, long story short, I have a Word document embedded into this Access database, and what happens is the process goes through, grabs the data directly out of the Word document and pastes it into a master document. Why did I do this instead of just using MS Access? Well, because MS Access just sucks when it comes to formatting. I could use a custom report, and I could generate a resume through a PDF or through the reporting tool, but I just don't. So anyways, let's get to it. I'm going to click Resume Doc. Now, for some reason that always pops up. I'm going to have to get rid of that warning, but you can actually see data populating in this Microsoft Word document. I just clicked the button. I'm not doing anything with my hands. Anything at all. Now it's going to close and then reopen. And here it is. The final document. Now it's like, I don't want these two things here. So it's like, okay, well, what do you do? Well, in the database, I've made it so that there's a column called Reskilled. Sometimes you want reskilled items to show up, but not, you know, in a limited capacity. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this over to the side of the screen, and I'm going to click Resume Doc. And as you can see, it's pretty powerful. I thought this was pretty interesting. You turn on and off stuff, keep track of, you know, where you've lived with those jobs, who you worked with and for those jobs, because if you've had more than a few, you forget. You just forget. If I hadn't kept some type of track record, I probably would have forgotten. All right, and so here's the final product, which is nice. It's 2 pages. It's very, very nice. And so now I can take this and I can, you know, just apply to jobs with this. And let's say, well, you know, Nate, this is nice, but you know, I had a much longer resume in the past. It's like, okay, so here we're going to go from short to long, and I'm going to click Resume Doc. I'm just going to move this over to the side of the page here. Okay. I need to get rid of that warning, but before I do that, let's just do the long document. Now you can see like the super duper long version. And it's like, all right, well, how are you getting that? Well, if you remember, I had like an entry for the long job description and an entry field for the short job description. And so here's the long one. Now I still need to add a little something to it. It's the accomplishments and relevant projects section. I still need to add that. However, this is the quick and dirty automated version of this. How did I do this? That's probably the main question that a lot of people ask. It's like, well, I made it so there's a Word document, and basically the system, it creates these blank Word documents. It formats it for you, adds all the headings that you could ever care about. And then you just literally copy this data and paste it in here if you want. But what the database will do is if there's text already in here, is it will just take this, turn it into plain text, and move it over into the Word document if there is no Word document. And so, I mean, it's just a two-step process. You literally click Create Doc, and then you click Update Document. Update will just drag the data from these MS Access fields into the Word documents, into the blank Word documents. Resume doc is very straightforward. You literally click it and it creates the resume, and so you can choose between your short and your long. So this stuff up here, this is going to be part of your long job description. This is long job description. This is short job description. Pretty straightforward in my opinion. Pretty cool, you know. And you can turn stuff on and off, given the work experience here. And these are just notes for myself, but you can choose either to show a job description or not. So job details is kind of what we're after here. So if I go into the code, click that. First, we basically save the record, and then we execute this whole process. And so we have our default font size. So there's like a blank space in between, each section. Those blank lines, those have a font. I, made those smaller to fit more on the page. I was told Segoe UI is usually the most reader friendly, so that's what I chose. Basically, I specify where I'm going to save this. I close the file if that file is open right already, and then I go through the Word document process. I create the Microsoft Word application. I create the document in it. I make it visible. Then what I do is I update the default format within that master Word document. I update the headings, um, the heading styles in that master document. So these are the styles that I'm referring to, like heading, normal, heading 1, heading 2. As you can see, I even have a navigation panel over here. Now, there is a unique caveat. These job descriptions, I've actually, designated them as heading 2, but you don't see them over here because, and this is the caveat, because they're inside of cells. They're inside of a grid, a box, which is kind of annoying. The only way you can actually see that, oh, this is a heading, is either click on the text or, and this is usually the fastest way I do it, create a navigation panel with a table of contents to boot. I mean, nobody's going to want a table of contents though, so I don't put that in there. I don't automate that into the database. Just be a pain in the butt to keep deleting. So I just leave that table of contents out, and I kind of make a mental note. Hey, this is formatted a certain way, or this is a heading 2. But anyway, it looks very clean, very, very clean, in my opinion at least. You can see how the client and the employer line up, and the location of the employer. You can see the job descriptions line up. You can see the dates line up. Very nice, very pretty, very simple. It's easy to turn things on and off. So we add a name. I'm going to make this changeable in the future. You add information in there about yourself. You feed that in. You add your technical skills, add your work experience, do your reskilled stuff. And finally, at the end of the day, you save the document. So underneath the work experience, you got some variables here. And then I basically create new lines as I move through the record set. I create a where statement. I create an SQL statement. Basically, I count to make sure that records exist in this query with this where statement before I continue executing. Then I basically say, hey, here's the work type. So here is this technical, is this work experience? Is this education and training? Is this volunteer work? And then what I do is I create a sub record set, which allows me to loop through like the jobs associated to the work experience or the education associated to education and training, or the volunteer experience associated to volunteer work. So this is like the record set that would say validation engineer, systems engineer, controls engineer, or first Lego League, or bachelor's of science and engineering, so forth and so on. And so basically this is like where I do my reskilled section. So basically I say, oh, we want to do something with reskilled, so let's put that in there. Then what I do is I say, all right, here's the, the main portion of the routine. Okay. Here's the main portion of the routine, and then you just kind of move through here, open stuff, and you see me opening a form here. The reason you see me opening a form is because in order to get the data out of the embedded Microsoft Word document, you have to open something and then close it, then open it again, which is really annoying, but apparently is mandatory in order for it to function. I would have kept these Word documents as external elements. However, that would have made those Word documents unbound to the database, which would have saved internal space. However, every time I tried to access the data or I tried to create a connection between the data, in the unbound field to these Word documents outside of it, it always threw an error. Like literally always. I had no idea why, and I found out I could do it manually with no problem, but I wasn't going to play that game, so I just embedded it. I embedded the Word documents. It's not like I'm going to have an infinite number of Word documents in here. I can bear 13 kilobytes per Word document. I can bear that. And so this is where I'm grabbing the data out of those Word documents. Check if the object is empty, or if it's a Word document, or if there's data inside of it. If there is no data, there is no Word document. So create it. If there is a Word document, and there is data inside of it, grab that and stick that into the master resume. And so that's kind of how that went. So this is the reskilled section, which is, it comes pretty much right after that work experience function. So I find everywhere that it says, star reskilled, and I just, fix that text. I just fixed it. I just fixed the text. This is me inserting a cross reference. So I think it might be noteworthy to say that this right here is a cross reference. So I can actually click that and it will take me down to the actual location that the text is located at. I thought that was a nifty feature. I don't know if it's really needed for 2 pages, but I thought, man, if my my life story becomes unfortunately large, well, maybe I'll appreciate it in the future. I don't know. So get all headings. All right, and so basically this grabs all of the headings, and it basically tells me what number the heading is located at. So when you do a cross reference, there's like a set of headings, and it says there's heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. And basically what I need to do is get that number, and I need to be able to say, I need to be able to return that like in an array. I need to say, work experience, that's heading 1. uh, Validation engineered, that's the second heading. It's like, all right, I know they're nestled under one of each other, but the headings are sequential, so it doesn't matter if it's heading 1 or heading 2, which is weird. So but that's also kind of how I wrote the equation. I basically clean the text that I get back from the headings, because sometimes wonky text comes back. This is me moving the data from MS Access into an embedded Word document. So this is me actually going over and just grabbing it from the database and sticking it into the Word document. Exactly how the function sounds is exactly the function of this function. So you go, you count it, make sure that data actually exists in this query. If there is data, then you have the ability to move stuff into a theoretical Word document. So it's like, all right, this is basically checking to see if the Word documents exist. And if you can see that exists, then you can take the data and you can stick it in the Word document. All right, and so this is me updating the Word document down here, and that up top is just me looping through a set of commands to basically check each Word document. This one, I don't believe I'm using at the moment. This was me trying to get Microsoft Word documents into an RTF function for whatever reason. I don't remember. An RTF styled format. I don't know why. But this last function I'm not using. Yep, okay. And so we went and we had our technical experience, our work experience. We've updated the rescaled stuff. We saved the document. We closed it. We quit the application, which is Microsoft Word. And then we reopened the document. Why would I close the Word document and reopen it? Well, because if I was to run this routine again, for some reason, this function close file if open, this doesn't work if I never closed, or if I never reopened the Word document. I don't know why. Like, if you run this routine and the Word document is still open, from a user standpoint, who cares? But from a programmatic standpoint, it's like it doesn't add it to the task or some backlog, some queue within your computer. I don't know why. It just doesn't. So this command up here, which is called close file if open, basically looks at all of the Microsoft Word objects that are active, or just all the Microsoft Word objects on your computer that are theoretically running, and you just loop through it. And if you find that object, find the Microsoft Word application with that specific extension, that specific file path, then it will close that. Unfortunately, it can't close it for some reason if you never close and reopen the Word document at the very end of the routine. I don't know why. That's the game. So I had to throw this in here as the added bonus. The references. Here's the references. I did add this one right here, this fm20.dll, but I didn't really use it. But I did add shell controls and automation, and I did use that. So I had to use that. All right. So I'm going to move that up top, exit out of that, exit out of that. All right, so now I'm going to hit resume doc. Yeah, you see, that's just it. Sometimes that warning doesn't pop up. I don't know why that warning doesn't pop up sometimes, and other times it does. Drives me crazy. Maybe I've just made the routine too powerful. Okay. So you saw a lot of flickering on the page. That was me opening and closing the embedded Word documents to actually grab the data out of it. That's the reason for the lag in the overall automation. But that was the only way I was able to extract the data from a Word document that could be easily viewed and associated to an object within MS Access. And I wasn't gonna like just click on something special and then, you know, casually check each Word document. I wanted to see each Word document's data in its immediacy right there on the MS Access interface. Otherwise, it just wasn't worth it, in my opinion. Okay, and so you can see it's done everything, which is wonderful. I love that. That's beautiful. So why does that say LER remote? Oh, I accidentally clicked. That's my fault. I accidentally clicked this right here. Yeah, no, that's on me. So I just unchecked the remote box. I must have clicked that by accident. Oh, I had something open. I clicked resume doc. All right. This looks acceptable as far as I'm concerned. There's the reskilled, and you could turn off reskilled very easily. You just have to. I mean, I'm not going to do it, but you can turn off reskilled just by unchecking those boxes right there. So if I was to run it now, yeah, if I was to run it just like this, no reskilled things would show up, which in my opinion is nice. But I want that reskilled option, so I'm just going to leave it checked. One nice thing personally is that I can double click this and I can actually see like what jobs are associated with what technical skills, which is kind of nice. You can see how many jobs in total are associated to each one of these technical skills. So before you click on them, it's like, all right, Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's like subsystem validation engineer. Okay, that makes sense. PTC Korea subsystem validation engineer. Well, that's true, but there was also my bachelor's. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Now it's got two of these associated to them. Kind of nice. All right. Bachelor's. Autodesk Inventor. Associates. Wonderful. Associates. Wonderful. Now, there's a giant description over here, but I'm not going to go into that. You can also designate the order in which you want these to appear, which will affect how they show up on your resume. Pretty darn cool. What is it called? I don't remember at this point for some reason. All right, I still have like one more thing I need to do. Well, obviously I need to do a few more things, but I need to get my accomplishments and relevant projects. Those do need to be added, however. However, I need to still figure out how I'm going to do that. I mean, basically, if I was to stay true to my current process, I would need to have a Microsoft Word document associated to each one of these line items here, simply for the sake of formatting. I don't want to do that. I should, because I've already stated that I need to. I'd really want to. I would want an unbound type system for that. All right, and Roman. Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to add some wonderful looking Word document in here. Okay. Here is documents. Now I actually want that one right there. Okay. What's it called? Okay. So there's OLE. Okay. Basically, I created a intermediary page so it could loop through this stuff. Now I could do the short and a long Docker version of this, but I shall say I will not. I'm just going to do erg. Short, long. In case I decide to come back. Okay. So accomplishments and awards is not ready to obviously. The OLE page here is not ready to be used in a final routine, if you will. But Yes, I know short does not exist, but who cares? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna change that. You know what? You know, if I really need to, I'm gonna come back to it. But I don't actually think right now I am gonna have a long version of that. Yeah, I'm not gonna have a long version of that. I'm not planning on changing things from the past, and I'm not putting a preface on something that I'm not obviously valuing. All right, all right. So sometimes I bounce between how I'm gonna name things, and how I name things directs me how I'm gonna program. Okay. This is oh, so we want descending. But we want order. Order is the first one that we want. Okay. Okay. What am I trying to do here? Trying to go over to ACC and there we go. Accomplishments and awards. All right. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Maybe I could have picked a better name than linked, but I said update, so technically I am updating the document with the proper text or formatting. Oh no. I remember now. It's coming back to me. Oh, when I say create doc, alright. So here I'm creating the template. Oh, it's done somewhere else. All right. Work experience, OLE. All right. Please. Okay. So here is OLE. All right, so I need to All right, now I need to do this with relevant projects. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm simply going to click Create Doc, see if it does anything. Make a quick backup in case I need to come back to this document. So click Create. Alright, how do I get rid of this? Because this is annoying the living bejesus out of me. Alright, so the alright, so we're going to here. You don't want. Okay, so I have it in my trusted section. And so here's my template. Okay. If no, then do this. Otherwise, move till next. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's the file path. I don't, that's the embedded template right there. However, I don't need that. I don't need if the file path exists. Because this is all handled by this bit, this guy down here. Okay. From here to here, it is kind of repetitive. Okay. Open record set. Why am I opening the record set? Template file. Yeah, this right here don't matter. I don't even know why I have it in there. That's not nice. Finding stuff you can take out. I don't want to copy this whole thing 3 times. I simply want to make a routine out of it. So what I can do, make that the backup. Go sub 8 5. I never spell words right. Okay. I could have just copied that, but why make it easy for yourself, right? That's okay. Well, what I'm doing right now is I'm simply saving these queries. So, go. And now, okay, and then this is my that then. Okay. Get rid of that str for name. You know, this word template thing does not need to be deleted every single iteration. It only needs to be deleted at the very, very end. That actually works. All right. I need to bring this to a quick and concise ending here in the next 2-3 minutes. This way I don't have to repurpose the world. I can just repurpose a single button. Create doc. Forward experience. That's what I was missing. Okay. Okay, so you go there. Split. Pop up, yes. Pop up, yes. Whoa. You know what? Screw that. That's not going to obey me. I'm not going to mess with that. I need to call it a wrap here in a few minutes. Alright. Disable macros. No. Alright. Oh, whoops. I clicked the wrong button. I could have this instantly done through an MS Access form. Instantly done. But formatting, am I right? Maybe if I, extracted the HTML and held that, that might shorten the time frame of automation. see. All right, I can give this a few more minutes. Oh, yeah, that would do it. I would definitely do it. Okay. We want to loop through the IDs. All right. I think we are almost there. Oh. right. Well, silly Nate, tricks are for kids. Okay, so it has something against what I've just done. Oh, I guess it was actually corrupted because it looks like it's fine now. There we go. Type mismatch, accomplishments, and awards. Well, that actually would make sense considering that I need to actually have accomplishments and rewards in the place of workplace ID. Tallest. Relevant project. All right, it looks like it's doing something. Okay, so the answer is no, it cannot do that. Okay. That's so beautiful. All right. All right. Okay. Boom. All right. Blah, 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 blah. All right, now we have finished. Now we're done. Okay, so that's all we're going to do for now. Let's call it off. Thanks for watching. Okay, we're going to end the stream now.